to Jan Pospisil, a Sudan Affairs Analyst and Associate Professor at Coventry University. Jan, thank you so much for your time. Recently, the army refused to attend a peace summit. They were being urged to by the Americans. Is the RSF being as intransigent and refusing to talk?
Well, there's a difference, of course, in where these two parties sit, because the RSF is looking for political legitimacy. So they are willing to talk under almost any circumstances, whereas the SAF, the Sudanese army, is concerned of not getting the political recognition as being the, as they think, legitimate government of the country. So given that they are treated on eye level with RSF, they're very reluctant to talk. The Geneva talks were in a way very unlucky because they were a repeat basically of failures that happened already in the Jeddah talks numerous times before. And it was unsurprising that in the end, these talks led to nowhere.
Who is on top? Does it make any difference? Is there any end in sight?
I mean, this is really why the situation is so sad, because both of the fighting parties, RSF as well as SAF, think they can win this on the battlefield, or at least, if not win, then sustain where they are. So there is movement going on. It's not a frozen situation. And in that, like, both parties at the moment think, okay, it's better to stay on the battlefield, to fight for as much as they can get out of this, than to go to negotiations. And to be fair, like, even if you ask me what would be a middle ground, what could be an agreement, how could the agreement look like? I honestly don't know. There is at the moment no political leeway. There's no political mass that could be negotiated between these two parties, as it is also a conflict of political legitimacy between those two.
And given the state of the fighting and therefore the inability of any central government to do what any central government should, in other words, take care of its people, we've had this collapsed dam. Does that mean that there's just no assistance for anybody because people are unsure about who's in charge or whether it's even safe to provide assistance?
I mean, the main issue here is that still international organizations consider the Sudanese army as, in a way, the legitimate government. So they expect all humanitarian aid to come in, to be cleared by SAF. And they, of course, only clear the aid that goes to territories they control. It was part of the Geneva talks to get the Adre crossing to Chad, between Chad and Darfur opened. The Sudanese army accepted that, but only after basically the road after Adre to the Darfurian centers became impassable because of rains and broken down bridges. So in a way, as long as the UN especially considers SAF as basically the legitimate kind of government and makes all aid dependent on their approval, there won't be any aid coming to territories SAF doesn't control, which is the largest parts of Darfur, and which are the parts where the famine warnings are coming from.
Jan, thank you so much for your time. Always appreciate it. Jan Pospisil.
Thank you.